Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. So actually I'm going somewhere right now. I'm waiting for my ride, so I thought to myself, why not shoot a video while I wait, and get out of my little makeup studio that I've created. Put the tools down and just chat for once, So today I want to speak about my acne journey. I know a lot of people by now know that I have been struggling with acne since my teens, and I just want to speak about it. I know a lot of people don't really necessarily speak about their bodily problems or skin problems or whatever, but I'd like to share my journey because I know a lot of people have been going through this acne problem and a lot are still struggling with it. Some it has went away as the years went on, but for some of us that are still struggling, let's talk, let's share our experiences. I mean, it's life. We have these problems, a lot of people have these bodily problems that they are afraid to talk about. It is life, I mean, whatever, really, so I will be kind of looking down and up because I did jot down some pointers so that I don't forget anything. So basically I've made a series of my acne journey. I'm gonna first tell you about how my acne started, and how it has progressed throughout the years. What have I done to eradicate the problem or try and treat my acne. So basically it all started when I was 12 years old. I was in grade 7 at that time. It was years ago. My acne started at that time, and it started with like pimples around my nose area. It started mainly in my T-zone area. It started like getting quite oily in that area, and then getting like pimples pop up in this area, and I never used to understand why, so I'd pop them because I'd be like, okay, what is this? I can't be going out with like sores on my face, type of thing. So yeah, it started then, and I started noticing that by the end of the day my nose area would get like really oily, so basically that's where the acne started. And it used to kind of progressed as the days went by or as the year went by, and it kind of got to me. It kind of started sort of getting to me, but not that much, because at school you have to take like school photographs, and then you've got like these things on your face. But I mean, those were minor things really, so yeah. And then it wasn't as bad. It was just around that area most of the time. I say it only got worse or bad, not worse, but it only got like bad at 15 years old, if I'm not mistaken, 15 or 16. I was halfway through my high schooling years, so I think it got like bad at that time, but not bad, but it just did progress at that time. I started noticing it was getting on my forehead and then like other areas on my face basically, and then I started using over-the-counter creams and cleansers and all that good stuff. Like, there was nothing that I didn't buy. I would go to the pharmacy every month when I'm buying toiletries. I am using something new, because I was not even patient enough to like wait out the product to work or anything of that sort. Ain't nobody got time. You know. Oh, that was my ride. I might just have to go, but we'll continue chatting, you know. So yeah, it got worse around 15 years old, and I used over-the-counter medication, and then like it wasn't getting any better basically, and I just thought like nothing is working at that time, you know, and I'm using all these over-the-counter stuff that people are suggesting, you know, things like that. And then my mom decided that okay, maybe let's go on contraception, because I also had other PMS problems, you know, so she thought maybe that's what is really causing the whole issue. And you know how they say that contraception does help with like your skin and yada yada yada. So basically that's, I went on Yasmin, and woo, let's just say I took it for like probably a month, because it was too strong for me. And I guess the mistake that we made is we never went and got the correct pills for my body or for my system. If that's how it works, I don't know, but I think that's what our biggest mistake was. But generally I think that's, a lot of people have complaints about Yasmin in general, like the side effects are just as similar as I used to get. But anyway, it's another topic for another day. So yeah, I started, I think towards the end of my high schooling, if I'm not mistaken, towards the end of my high schooling, which was grade 11, grade 12, I started going to see dermatologists, because like it was just all over my face now. Like it was on my cheeks, it was on my forehead, it was on my, like it was everywhere. But it wasn't bad, it was just, you know, small pimples. Sometimes they'd like become like big and have like whiteheads. I mostly suffered from blackheads and whiteheads basically, so, and oily skin. So basically I was looking childish 24/7. I had childish skin 24/7 basically, and it used to frustrate me, you know, because I never understood how come other people have like smooth skin and I have like this acne. What did I do? You know, you start asking yourself those things, because now people are starting to suggest ridiculous things, you know, and at that age you don't need all of that, you know. People suggest that you wash with sunlight green bar soap. I mean, don't you think I've tried that? You wash with whatever, you do this and you do that, and it's like, who asked you? Who asked? So yeah, it was, and some of the suggestions were just outrageous. So I started going to the dermatologist. I think I was 17 at that time, and she put me on doxycycline. Woo! Doxycycline. No. For me, I didn't enjoy that journey, because doxycycline is like very harsh. Sometimes it makes you vomit. Phew, so many disturbances. Like I usually shoot on Saturdays, like on weekends. So like there's a lot of disturbances. Okay, so now where was I? I was on doxycycline, and I didn't really enjoy that journey with doxy, because doxycycline, like it just needs you to eat all the time before you take it, and I'm not much of an eater. Well, at that time I wasn't much of an eater. I'm sure I've improved now. And I was on doxycycline for like around 3 years, like continuously. Every month I'm going for a checkup with this dermatologist, and for some reason she wouldn't put me on Arutane or Accutane. She wouldn't want to put me on Accutane, and every month I'm coming to get my dose of doxycycline. And then my skin was looking very good at that time. I was taking doxycycline. She prescribed, okay, this was my prescription, right? Doxycycline, and then Sunlight baby soap, the white bar, and then Dermapol sunscreen. That was me. That was my regimen. I don't remember what I used to put on my face, but I don't think I put anything except for sunscreen. I don't really remember what I used to like moisturize with, but those three were the key elements of my prescription basically. And I was on it for 3 years, and then I decided to just go off it because I feel like I'm on this thing, and for how long, you know? At that time I didn't even know what Oratane is. I remember her saying she's not going to put me on Oratane because my skin is not that bad. I was like, what is Oratane? But okay, 3 years went by, decided to get off it, decided to stop going to her because I feel like I'm paying every month for fees and all these things, and it's expensive, but I'm going nowhere. So from there I left it. I went back to over-the-counter medication, which was still like pricey, but it was better than going to a dermatologist. At least I didn't have to pay for consultation fees and things like that. Okay, 2008 to 2013, that was when I was on over-the-counter stuff. I was just on and off medication, and I was on and off contraception. I went on trifocils. Trifocils were good for me. I didn't have problems with that. And then in 2011, my acne was at its worst. Like, it was everywhere. Like, my skin looked like I had eczema and acne, basically. There was just spots everywhere. And then I had like sort of a rash, and then it was oily, you know, things like that. So it was at its worst, and I was in my 20s at that time. Well, still am in my 20s, but early 20s at that time. So I started turning to makeup. I think, no, that was earlier. I started turning to makeup to like try and cover, because like everywhere you went for interviews, you went for in social places or whatnot, people just don't like, they just comment about what your skin looks like as if it's your fault that you've got acne, you know. So basically I started like trying to cover with makeup, but obviously I wasn't as good at covering at that time. I was just using powder, I wasn't using foundation, so you could imagine what powder and then on top of acne, what it looked like. So I just made it worse basically. But at times it did look good, at times it was like, sometimes you'd get people saying that I don't wash my face enough. Like, I wash my face twice a day. So you want me to go to the bathroom wherever I am and wash my face like 5 times a day? I mean, it just makes it worse, really. You know, people just suggest like the dumbest things. And most of the time you get this advice from people that don't have acne, that have the smoothest skin on earth, that tell you that don't use harsh chemicals on your face, just use water and Vaseline to just, you know, don't aggravate your skin. But you're just like, but B, you've got smooth skin though. How is it that you can come out of wherever you came out from and advise me about like my skin? Because no. So yeah, those things. So in 2013, a doctor friend, I'll call him a doctor friend, tried, shout out Dr. Friend, tried to help me by referring me to a friend of his who's also a doctor who mainly dealt with or deals with skin. And I'd go to him and he prescribed things that are just, I know by this time I know what my skin is like. I know that things like petroleum things and whatnot, they don't work well with my skin because it's oily already, and I feel like it just clogs up my face. So he had prescribed things like that, and I felt as though, what am I doing here, you know? He'd prescribed antibiotics, and I'm very grateful that my doctor friend referred me to him, but it wasn't much of help. It actually worsened the situation. So I just went back and I told him, and then he referred me. Oh, there goes my ride. Okay, I'm gonna carry on. Maybe tomorrow or later on if I come back early. So I have to go. So I rushed home to finish this video quickly. It is getting quite dark outside, so I hope I can finish it just in time, so I don't lose lighting. I don't really like using like artificial lighting. I like my natural lighting. So anyway, where was I? Doctor friend. So seeing that him referring me to his friend wasn't working, the treatments I was taking weren't working for my skin, he decided that no, he's going to refer me to a dermatology department in a hospital. And then he explained what the difference is between going to a private dermatologist and a dermatology department in a hospital. And as soon as I started going to the department, I saw what the difference was. He was right. He was very accurate. I think that was my biggest breakthrough in terms of treating my skin throughout all those years, right? So I went in there. I didn't get my consultation on the same day. I had to make an appointment first. Eventually I got my appointment, and she outright told me that I have chronic acne. And I was like, chronic acne? What? Like, what? You know, what is chronic acne? Like, is there such a thing as chronic acne? I didn't think that acne does reach those levels where somebody can, or a doctor can actually tell you that, listen, you have chronic acne. Also, upon arriving in that department, I realized that a lot of people, we suffer from skin conditions. There's a lot of people that are suffering from skin conditions. We are a skin suffering community. Like, I was like, all along, I thought I was on my own, and there's a lot of people that are suffering from different types of skin conditions. At that moment, I thought to myself, my skin condition is not that bad. And I thought I was just being petty. But at the same time, I thought, okay, I got this far because I have, you know, a skin problem. So I can't say that I am being petty, right? But it did make me realize that a lot of people are suffering from skin conditions, which brings me back to what I said earlier on. A lot of people do have bodily conditions, and it's life, it's normal, right? My mom once explained it to me this way, because I was constantly complaining to her, like, how come I have this acne, whatever, other people don't have it, my siblings don't have acne, you know, things like that. And she's like to me, our bodies don't react the same to our environments, the things that we eat, and our lifestyles. You can be in a room with 5 other people having the same lifestyle, eating the same food, in the same environment, and you, the one that gets the asthma, or you are the one that gets the acne or the diabetes or eczema. So from that sort of a talk, we had quite a lengthy conversation about it, and from that talk I actually started viewing it quite differently, right? I started thinking people have allergic reactions to the environment, food, lifestyles, etc. So what we need to do, she actually did mention this to me, which I am going to say to you, share it with you if you are struggling. What we need to do as people is, if you have certain conditions, you just need to do your research, learn to live with that condition, speak to people, seek professional help if you need to seek professional help. And then from there onwards, you need to accept and take your treatment accordingly. Try by all means to live a healthier lifestyle than what you were living. And these conditions are maintainable and they are treatable, right? Just accept that I cannot have smooth skin like the next person does. And how do you know that the next person has worse conditions than you do? Also, as a person who suffers from acne, hyperpigmentation, psoriasis, eczema, etc., just because you have those conditions, it doesn't mean that you have to lie in a coffin and die. You know? So comment in the section bar below if you want to share your journey, or if you want to share any acne stories or struggles that you're going through. Let's talk about it. I mean, it's life. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please click on the subscribe button below. If you like my video and my journey and what I've said so far, or if you relate, thumbs up. Otherwise, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.